All right, we're extra usual. Today's guest is Chef Eugenio Torres
That's right. That's right.
of Fresh and Rico. Go to his website, check out his meals. You can order meal preps for the whole week. He's a classically trained chef from the prestigious Johnson and Wales Culinary Arts Academy in Miami, and he's from Puerto Rico. And he makes wonderful food, Fresh and Rico.
Visit the website and you'll get all the details, and listen to the podcast and you're gonna get a lot more.
At www.fresh, the letter N, Rico.com. Fresh and Rico.
Perfect.
All right, guys. Today on the podcast we have Chef Eugenio Torres. He is a chef that graduated from the prestigious Culinary Institute, Johnson and Wales in Miami. He has a passion for cooking and an interesting story, and you need to listen to this podcast. I mean, he's had a great life, but his current specialty is meal prepping meals and for the health conscious. They are all 300 to 500 calories, and they are light on carbohydrates, and they're just the perfect right size. And all you do is pop them in the microwave and heat them up for 2.5 minutes. And it's a quick, easy way to eat healthy and lose weight. So, but he's been a big supporter of my weight loss journey, and I've asked him to come and tell us his story because I've talked to him several times, and I love talking to him. He's from Puerto Rico, and I learned some new things about him I didn't know before. So check out this podcast. We look forward to letting you hear it. But he's one of the sponsors that we always give a shout out to. My main sponsor is DDP and DDPY. It's just an unbelievable app to help you lose weight, to rebuild you, to get you back to where you're able to do things physical. The app is the way to go. The DDPY. I think the website is DDP Yoga Now for the app, and so it's an unbelievable experience, and I highly encourage everyone out there to try to do DDP yoga. The third sponsor I'd like to give a shout out to is my main man, Bert Kreischer. He's the one that inspired me to start this weight loss journey. I weighed 155 last Monday. I gained 11 pounds, and so this week I have been really serious about strict and dieting. But Bert started this whole deal. He's the one that got me off the couch. He just had a special release called Secret Time on Netflix. We've watched it. It is hilarious. It's a true picture of the person that Bert is, and so check out Secret Time on Netflix. And I also want to tell you, if you're following me on social media, we started doing these Life Quest cards. So I'd like to give a shout out to it's called Life Quest cards. And it's a deck of cards that you draw one every day, and it has a goal for you for the day. And so far, Mary and I have drawn 2 cards, and my first goal was to plan a social outing. And so we're October 15th, we're talking about getting all the betas and their wives together that that I reconnected with back in June, and so I'm very excited about that. And I would never have done it if that card hadn't instructed me to start that process doing it that day. My second card was to do a 5-minute wall sit, and I want you to know that turned out to be a lot harder than I was expecting it to be. I thought, since with all the activity I was doing, it was going to be fairly easy. But those 4th and 5th minutes, but were less than easy. Let me say, but I did successfully complete that goal as well. So I haven't drawn a card today, but it's an interesting concept. It's a Kickstarter company. If you look at their website, there's a whole bunch of neat ideas on there. But Mary and I are going to videotape or record us drawing the card every day, so you can get an idea of what those are. So I want to give a shout out to Life Quest Cards. So now I won't delay you anymore. Let's get to the interview with Eugenio. Thank you. All right, we're back here at Extra Usual, the podcast, the Vance Hines podcast and blog. We have the extreme pleasure of having Eugenio Torres. He's a chef, and he owns a food prep business here in Waxahachie, Midlothian, this area, and he concentrates in healthy meals, and he's got an interesting story. He's definitely fits our definition of being extra usual, and I'm glad to have an opportunity with this crack interview team to interview Eugenio today. So, Chef, welcome to the extrausual.com.
Thank you, Bans. Yeah. And first, thank you for telling me that I'm extra usual. I'm going to take that as a compliment.
That's a good one.
I appreciate giving me the opportunity to be here and giving Fresh and Rico the support that you have given us since we moved here in this area of Waxahachie and Midlothian. We just hope we have some interesting information, knowledge, stories, and everything that you can take out of me. And hopefully I can get some out of you too, because I know your audience want to hear more stuff about you that you think of.
Well, I can tell by your accent you're not from Texas.
Born and raised.
In Texas.
Born and raised, not in Texas. I am from Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
That's right. Little island in the Caribbean. Pretty in the news lately because of some hurricanes, and we're suffering of a lot of missing resources at the moment of the hurricane. But the island is good, and the people are good. The people are happy. The people are moving forward, and hopefully my family gets that as well. And then we don't stop going there and spending time with the family. So it's a good place to be if you ever get a chance. It's just a 6 hours flight.
Well, we were looking at a map earlier. I didn't realize it was that far down in the Caribbean. I thought it was more like over toward Florida,
Cuba, then the Dominican Republic, and then Puerto Rico.
We are kind of like in school. They told me we're the small one from the big ones, and we're the big one from the small ones.
So how old are you?
How old?
Yeah,
I am 39.
And when did you leave Puerto Rico?
I left Puerto Rico I want to say my last big birthday batch was my 25th. So I think 25th to 26th, because I already did college in Puerto Rico. I did financings and accounting bachelor degree. Start working in that time, and that's what it told me. Hey, this is not you. This don't work for you.
So what college did you go to in Puerto Rico?
It's the UPR, is the University of Puerto Rico. In the campus that I went was the Rio Piedras one. Is the main campus, I can say.
What city is it in?
Rio Piedras is by San Juan. Yeah. I am from Caguas, that I can see it there in the map, and that is in the middle right there, kind of there.
You're in the middle.
Yeah, right there is a valley, so the mountains go across the island, and we are one of the valleys right there in Caguas, and the rest of the island is all, you see?
Yeah.
So
you're not far from El Yunque National
No.
national forest.
We can say that we are not far from anywhere, but if you are in the roads there, like my wife still is learning about it. That when I tell her, yeah, that's like 45 minutes from here, it's maybe that little place that you see there, but the traffic and the driving and the roads is what it makes it challenging. It's different than here. You don't have the long roads.
Yeah. Is it mountainous all through there?
So you'll see mountain there. If you put a line through the middle, there's mountain all over, like Orocovis, Barranquita, Jayuya, Utuado, El Yunque, of course. All mountains, and in Juncos and San Lorenzo. In San Lorenzo, you can go up in mountains as well. So yes, all the middle of the island is mountains, and if you go to the edges, then you get nice, beautiful beaches. Especially, well, in both coasts, like the West Coast and the East Coast.
What was how do you say your town's name?
Caguas.
Caguas. What was it? What was the I mean, what are y'all known for there in Caguas in the valley?
Caguas was known actually because it's if you can see it, actually, I can see it in the picture. We were kind of a busy town off the metro. If you see all that white, Bayamon, Trujillo, those are the metros. And then you see Caguas there. So many people moved to Caguas, but they were still going to work to San Juan. And so Caguas developed very quick. And so anything that would go new, they will try it in Caguas. Like if a restaurant will come, they will be in Caguas first. If it works in Caguas, it maybe works someplace else. So that's one thing about Caguas sports. Great baseball teams. Great baseball team. The Cora brothers are from Caguas. Joey Cora and Alex Cora. And yes, great baseball teams. The basketball is pretty good. And so that's big for us.
How many people in Caguas?
That's a great question. We're gonna have to use Wikipedia on that
one. So you is your family all from Puerto Rico?
They are there still. I just went there 2 weeks ago for a death in the family. But yeah, they're all there. We're all over the place. So if you ask me if we are all in Caguas, some of us are left in Caguas, some of us are in San Juan, some of us are in Luquillo, so we're all over the place.
So all your family from Puerto Rico, all your heritage, is that where you're?
Yeah, my family, my dad's family is from Puerto Rico, my mom's family is from Puerto Rico, all the way. Yeah, cannot take credit for any other one.
Yeah. So growing up, what did you want to do?
Growing up, I want to be a sport athlete. I want to be a professional athlete. And I had a pretty busy sport youth, and I would say that I enjoy it, and everything was based around sports in my life. So I always ask people, what were you grounded for? Like, when you were bad, what are they grounding you for?
Yeah.
And that's where your life goes around. So I was grounded. It's like, if I'm bad, you're not going to go to practice tomorrow. You're not going to go outside and shoot in the hoop. But when practice was so important, because most of the kids, some of them can skip practice and they're okay with that. Yeah. I wasn't okay with that. I wasn't okay even getting late to practice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess that was how I started.
Did you get a scholarship or anything to college?
I did.
For what?
Basketball and volleyball. I did play volleyball for my first year. It's more like so you can compare it. We did play second division NCAA.
Yeah.
Open tournaments. We were not yet in the standings because it was just getting into NCAA. They have their own league in Puerto Rico. It's called the LAI. So I did play there. I did play volleyball and I did play basketball. And thank God that paid for my school. Even though, yeah.
Was it sand volleyball or was it indoor volleyball?
Indoor volleyball. Yeah. it's not common for male team of indoor volleyball, but yeah, it is in Puerto Rico. And then the good players in Puerto Rico go, I used to be able to do that.
That's what
I still can.
Our middle daughter was a volleyball player.
Yeah, Emma.
Yeah, I still can do it. That's how I'm gonna intercept another story between that. That's how I met my wife back in St. Kitts. We'll get there, I guess.
Yeah, we'll get you there.
She plays volleyball too, and I was in team against her.
Did you beat her?
Oh, every time. Every time. There was no mercy.
No mercy.
She eventually joined the team.
Yeah. I did. What made you pick accounting?
Family. My grandfather was an accountant. My uncle was an accountant. I was good in math, so it wasn't that based on a lot of. It wasn't based on me, the decision, actually, if you couldn't put it that way.
Well, you didn't really know what else to do. It's
Exactly.
like me being a lawyer. I didn't know what else to do. I figured I'd have a job if I got a law degree.
Are you still doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't prepared, I guess, to choose something, but you have to choose. So
Yeah.
I understand kids at that stage because I was there. So
did how many years did you work as an accountant?
I want to say 3 years, 4 to 3 years, not much. Because I even when I finished school, I started working on my uncle's office, and I was already applying from his desk for culinary school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What made you want to be
I remember that picture. That's how I know that it wasn't too many years there.
Yeah.
Because I was in his desk, in one of the office desks, and I was applying for culinary school. So I was basically saying, I'm not going to be here for long.
Yeah. Did you always like to cook?
Yes. I was like, there's a party, so Eugenio will do this and that. Eugenio will do that and that. And I will always be with my aunt, my grandmother, my mom, seeing them what they're doing and helping them chopping stuff and cutting stuff. So yeah, I was involved in that. So when you start a job or a profession that you don't like, then you ask yourself, well, when I live here, what do I enjoy doing?
Mm-hmm.
So I go home and I cook. I'm like, well, how about doing that? I'm making money out of that.
So what? Tell me how you worked your way into Johnson and Wales Culinary.
So the application process took a while, as you can do the math there, like 3 years, I guess. Maybe the first year there was no answer, and then the second year they told me you're going to start the next year rotation. So my credits from accounting were all transferred, the ones that will be able to transfer. So that was a quick associate degree because I only went straight to do the labs. So I went straight to the kitchen. Most of the new students will still have to do the Spanish, English,
basics.
as your son.
Yeah.
If you didn't know out there,
Yeah.
Van's son is also a culinary student.
That's right. He's going to the Culinary Institute of America in San Antonio.
The second best after Johnson and Wales.
Well, he was going to go to Johnson.
Yeah, he wanted to go to the Johnson and Wales in Denver for a while.
That's cold there.
Yeah. And so tell me a little bit about Johnson and Wales. I mean, what the program and
It's
how
a great
prestigious
program.
they are and that kind of thing.
It's very prestigious. When I went there, the stories was when I started school, the celebrity chefs were not that many. So the school had Emery was a drop off of the school, but they will mention it all the time. Emery came here. So there were many successful celebrity chefs that end up coming from Johnson and Wales, but that we didn't know. But what we did know is that they have a great networking between chefs and restaurateurs, and they claim, and I think it was very successful, like 98% of the kids will end up with jobs right after school. And I think they did. I think I didn't have any challenge coming out with my uniform and starting like a student in a kitchen. And I also felt very prepared, very ahead of the game when I compare myself with the other students from other schools when I was like internship and stuff like that.
So what years were you at Johnson and Wells?
After 2005, it was only 2 years and a half. And I was already working after the first year, well, even before that, on a Marriott hotel. And doing what all the students do at the beginning, doing carving stations, doing pasta station, doing omelet stations, prepping, cleaning the kitchen, staying late, and all everything that anybody nobody wants to do. But that's what you have to do in that industry. You have to earn it through sweat and cuts. And I did that. I did that with my best friend. Never forget. Like, we did almost the whole process together. And Anthony, now he's a chef too in Minnesota, and he's doing great. And he had way more experience than I did. Way more experience. But it was like the Pizza Hut experience, the Olive Garden. So he was sloppy at the beginning, but super strong, super fast. And we did compete with each other. And it is a healthy competition because you need to have a partner when you get into that industry. You'll see.
So what year did you graduate Johnson and Wells?
What year? You didn't ask me to bring my resume.
Yeah.
But I think it was 2007 or 2008. 2007?
So you've been a professional chef since 2007?
Well, a professional chef, you can call it because I was graduated, but I was working in the kitchen way before that. There's, let's say this, and hopefully your listeners are going to understand. You are a professional chef when you're in charge of a group, a team in the kitchen. Forget about it. You're a professional chef once you start making money out of what you're doing. But you are a chef when you're in charge of a group or a team in your kitchen. The degree don't give you that. The uniform don't give you that either. Is when you're in charge. When you're responsible for the product that comes out of the kitchen. Now you're a chef. And it's not the hat either. Even though the hat make us look cool.
Yeah, the hats are pretty cool. I like the hats.
But your son will learn that they will call him chef, because in some places we will be called chef when we are just doing an omelet station. But he will feel that he's the chef when he have in charge, and his product is the one that is going to be judged for. Mm-hmm. So as I progress in that hotel, I got a chef apparti position.
What does that mean?
Chef is a French term about the leader of the group, the leader of the party meaning that is the group, or the team. So once I got that, I felt like I was a chef. I was creating recipes, I was creating menus, I was disciplining people. I was getting discipline for my people's doing. So that's when you felt like, okay, now I'm a chef.
And in Marriott, were you doing banquets and things like that?
Banquet was where I started and how I grow through the company, yes. Banquets and events.
So how many, what all kitchens or what all places have you worked at since you graduated?
Yeah, so after Miami, so this Marriott in Miami is used to be called Doral Resort and Spa, and is now a Trump Hotel. That is the one that is big in Gulf. So I worked there first. From there, I moved.
Is that Mar-a-Lago? Is that the?
No, that's a different one.
That's a different one.
Mar-a-Lago is in more Twitters, but Doral, he also put Doral a lot in his Twitters.
Yeah.
So yes, it's the one that is big on golf when it comes to the PGA tournament, and their golf course is extremely famous for the Blue Monster. It's very high in when it comes to the golf scene and events. So from there, I went to the island in St. Kitts. In the island in St. Kitts, I worked for another Marriott there.
Were you the head chef there?
I was the sous chef.
Now, tell me what that means. I hear that all the time. What does that mean?
That means that I'm not the head chef, but I do everything there. A sous chef is an assistant. Sometimes the executive chef will be who reports to the. This is all about who you report to. So the executive chef will report to the owner or the executive committee or a GM or sometimes a food and beverage director. And then the sous chefs are those assistants that are the right hands of the chef. So sometimes they have one outlet that will be a restaurant, or could it be an event, or sometimes they have multiple outlets that they take care of. I have multiple outlets in St. Kitts. I was lucky enough to have multiple outlets because the restaurant that I was working from, the kitchen, put out the breakfast, the lunch, and the dinner. One of those restaurants that are open always, and also the late nights. Plus also have the food that was going to the lobby bar. Plus also have the food that was going through room service. So that gave me the opportunity of being around a lot of service and a lot of experience.
How long were you in St. Kitts?
I was there for 3 years. 3 years.
At the Marriott?
At the Marriott, yeah.
And were you always the sous chef?
No, you got a moment that I got out of the kitchen and I got promoted as a director of the back of the house. And so I had this, what we call the storeroom. So basically the purchasing and also the maintenance of the kitchens. It was a promotion that I got the opportunity of getting out of the kitchen and relaxing for a while, I guess. And it was great. I would say benefits.
Yeah.
Plus, the kitchen kind of get to you.
Yeah. Well, chefs always seem pissed off on TV.
You can see I'm not pissed off today. Yeah, it is stressful.
They got a dog wandering around here that's not normally here. That's we're having to work around a visiting dog. My daughter's dog is visiting. Yeah, and so
he's sweet. He's probably smelling all the food in my shoes.
And they now you said you played volleyball in St. Kitts. Now I assume St. Kitts is
So
an
we're gonna
ugly,
get to when
is
I meet my wife.
Yeah, I assume St. Kitts is a horrible place to work. The Marriott in St. Kitts, I guess, is a horrible place to work.
Oh my god.
Yeah, damn work, you know.
That's my apartment was maybe, if I would have counted, 45 steps to the beach. My first one.
Oh man.
I live in there was like a staff housing with gate and super secure. And yeah, so you will open the door and we just go and see the beach.
Oh man.
You could walk to the beach like anytime. It was kind of a great place to step on. And
so you were single and a chef
on the beach.
On the beach. and I imagine that you never had any girlfriends or anything down there. I guess.
Never. Only my wife, my now wife.
Only your now wife.
She would be listening. Her family and her family's family and my family will be listening.
Well, so moving right along to you met his wife.
It was a fun island. If you would enjoy it, I don't. You can relate it with the Key West environment. If you have visited Key West, or because there was a group of there was 2 colleges, or maybe there's like 3, but one
In St.
vet
Kitts, there's
school.
3 college?
There's a vet school.
Wow.
Yeah,
Ah, okay.
there's a vet school. That's where my wife went there for, and they keep a very college town life while the students are there. So one of my stories is when I went on an interview, the Marriott flew me in for interview, and who became my boss eventually, he picked me up at the airport. We're driving down to the hotel. The hotel is we drive through a hill, and then you can see the hotel in the almost like by the water in the beach, far from the hill, and it's amazing. I was like, why we're gonna continue this interview? I'm staying. I'm sold. I'm here. And
They're gonna pay you to work here?
yeah, exactly. So we drove there, and he's like, go to your room, shower, do whatever, and we'll meet in the pool. This is part of the interview.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
pool was part of the interview?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, meet in the pool? Well, we have to eat lunch. We'll eat in the restaurant by the pool. I'm like, don't put your bathing suit, Eugenio. Don't put your bathing suit. This is a trick. don't feel for it.
Yeah, that's right.
So we spent a good day of interviews and questioning, and then he's like, well, at night we're gonna visit this area. It's called the Strip, and we're gonna have dinner there. I'll pick you up a certain time, and then we go there, and all the movement there is in taxis, so you move around on a taxi. And we got there, and it was maybe like 8 at night. Still, it was just a regular island vibe, when you're on vacation. All the calypso music in the background,
Yeah.
the waves hitting. But suddenly, after 9 or 10, a bunch of students came out to party.
Oh, yeah?
This is like a Wednesday, and my chef knew that. I bet.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing, and I was like, what's just happening? I mean, he goes, well, Eugenio, I gotta go now because I gotta wake up at 5 in the morning. I gotta do breakfast, but you can stay here. Here's some money for the taxi.
He was, yeah, he was.
And they'll pick you up. And I'm like, what kind of trap is this?
Yeah. He knew what he was doing.
And the whole night I was like, you gotta go back to your room. You gotta go back to your room. You gotta go back to your room.
Now I know your family's gonna listen.
Telling myself, yeah. It was fun just that night. And then it was, like I tell you, it was a fun island to be at for certain seasons.
How long were you there?
Because I was there for 3 years. Not 3 years, more than so. But you will feel the island when the students were there and when the students are gone.
It's different.
It's quiet. Nothing is happening. The stores are empty.
And your wife was a student,
Yes.
so you were you were colluded. What's the word? You were talking to the students from time to time.
I was, as you can see, I'm very shy.
Yeah.
But the students had a happy hour volleyball tournament on Fridays after 5.
Beach volleyball.
After 5? Yeah, beach volleyball. But social beach volleyball, very unorganized and fun. And I would just sit there and hang out because I didn't know many people. And eventually another Puerto Rican came out. There's always a Puerto Rican. There's always another Puerto Rican. There's always going to be another Puerto Rican. For all you Puerto Ricans that are feeling lonely now, because you move out of the island, there's going to be another Puerto Rican. And we always back up each other.
Yeah.
So he's like, hey, you want to play volleyball? Have you played volleyball before? Well,
Yeah.
I'll try.
I'll try.
Joined that team, and eventually we won that season. And my wife was in another team. And she was serious. She was serious when she would play, and we were not. we would just be having fun,
Yeah.
joking around, losing points because of fun, but still win. Ha 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 ha. She didn't like that,
Well, she was there for the vet school,
but she was there for the best school. Yeah,
and did
she's an A&M graduate,
from here, from Texas.
Texas A&M. Yep.
So she's a licensed veterinarian now.
Yep.
But I thought she told me she was also a chiropractor.
Yes.
So she also got her degree in chiropractic medicine.
Yep.
Where did she do that at?
Chiropractor and acupuncture. Chiropractor here in Texas and acupuncture in Florida.
Wow.
Yep.
She's a glutton for punishment, wanting to go to all that school, man.
Yes.
I was wondering how you ended up from that hellhole St. Kitts to this paradise of Waxahachie, Texas.
Yeah,
I didn't understand how you got here.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad you got the hell out of there and got here.
Yeah, boy. Boy, aren't you impressed with Waxahachie? Got a lot of flat land around here.
I can tell you.
Hey, 45 feet from here, you'll find another house. Yeah, the street and black
It's only
dirt.
105 degrees.
I invite anybody, Google it.
Yeah.
St. Kitts, Google it. And then go visit, go take a cruise.
Sounds tough.
And then
Don't know if I can make
Yeah, I
it.
don't think I can
Me
handle
neither.
it.
Tell
Looking
them.
at all those college kids on the beach.
Played volleyball.
Played volleyball.
sand.
Pina coladas with a little umbrella.
Yeah,
You can-
yeah.
you
Damn,
can-
sounds horrible.
Oh, terrible. Terrible.
A lot of monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
Drunk monkeys. Yeah, so then we met, and then eventually life took us to Texas. Yes,
How'd you end up in Texas?
it wasn't a long step. So we moved first to Ocala, Florida.
Where was she from originally?
She's from Magnolia, Texas.
Oh, she's from Texas.
She is.
Ah, so is that now I know what brought you to Texas. Never mind, I know how you got
Yeah, you know what? Let's not blame her.
here.
Let's blame the baby.
The baby.
baby,
Let's just say that because he cannot defend himself yet.
Yeah, that's right.
But she loved the island too. So even though she know that we're in Texas, and we would say like, well, we left Texas, and you're from Texas, so we can blame you, no?
Yeah.
No, it was just work opportunities. So it doesn't mean that we don't go visit, because we do. We went already, and we probably will keep going.
Where else have you worked since the Marriott in that damn shithole?
So after I was, after I was
Work.
kicked out of hell,
Yeah.
went to Ocala, Florida, and I work at a boutique hotel. It was a Holiday Inn Express, but the owner had a very fine vision of kicking it up a notch and making it a nice type of Holiday Express. And he did a nice restaurant in his penthouse, and he also had a banquet kitchen. So I became the executive chef of that place for a short run of maybe a year and a half, until we moved to Florida, back to South Florida. I'm sorry, because Ocala's in Florida too. To the Boca Raton area and West Palm Beach. And there I got out of the kitchen again.
What'd you do there?
I started working as a sales rep on Cheney Brothers. It's kind of a company like Cisco and Benny Keith.
Yeah.
It's, so again,
It's in the food industry, but you
It
all
is
are
still in the food
sold-
industry.
Yes,
Food supply.
suppliers.
yeah. So yeah, getting me all around on the industry, and again, the kitchen life is sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I wasn't willing to sacrifice a family for the career. And so I did something more family friendly, but still in the industry.
So and then then y'all came to Texas, I guess.
Then we came to Texas eventually. Yeah, we moved to the area of Weatherford, Texas,
Mm-hmm.
and that's after some time of getting acquainted, and that's where the meal prepping started.
Did you do Fresh and Rico over there?
That's you can call it like that. I already had a name in my mind, but I started meal prepping for the house. Then I started meal prepping for the neighbors. Then I started meal prepping for the friends of the neighbors, and then I started meal prepping for the friends of us.
Yeah.
And basically, that's how Fresh and Rico started.
So it just organically.
Organically started growing. I can even blame that it was my wife, after her pregnancy, wanted to lose weight as fast as she could, and she started doing the 21-day fit, 21-day
challenge or whatever it is.
Yes. And she was eating the same thing every day, basically, because that's by containers.
Yeah.
And she couldn't get creative. She was just, after she figured out that she could have this amount of rice, that amount of chicken, that amount of sauce, she would just eat the same always. And that's how I got involved. And I'm like, this is not good. You're really suffering through a diet when you can actually just enjoy every meal and still be on the diet.
Yeah.
It's just not like people suffer through the process of a diet, and they shouldn't.
That's what I like about your meals. You're full once you finish one.
And that's how you should be.
Yeah, and it seems to be like the right amount. Not no little bitty piece of fish or something like that. It's very
it
good.
fills you up.
Cool.
Very good.
That's
Highly recommend it.
Great.
And yummy veggies.
Exactly. People don't serve themselves veggies. People don't serve, like, when I go to the store now, the cashiers ask me, so how is that you cook that again? So what do you use this for?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, this I cook it, and this is my dessert. But yeah, it's introducing, because that's what I'm not a nutritionist. I got the knowledge. I investigate. I study it, but I'm not the nutritionist. But I'm the chef. So there's more factors. Just when my meals go, there's more factors to it than just being healthy. And that's what is interesting, because it becomes a healthy choice, but it's not forced to be healthy either. Like, I'm not trying to put things together that don't make sense.
Well, tell me your philosophy on the food prep. Tell me the philosophy on your business.
Yes. So our concept is we trying to give the customer convenience, and we're trying to keep you in 4 areas. We round it on 4 areas that we focus. First is budget. So we hit first on your financial area aspect, because, and I will talk to you later about it probably, we spend too much money not being organized and not having a schedule, not meal prepping. We go grocery, and then we go out to eat, and then we dump stuff that we have in our fridge, and then we buy too much because we want to do that recipe that we love, but you have to buy the whole jar of it, and then you don't use it again. So financially, we try to hit on a budget. I've been very involved with just one price set for each meal. So for $11 you get a salmon, for $11 you get a chicken, for $11 you get a turkey breast, for $11 you get beef. It's because $11 is just the service. It's the meal what you're paying, not what you're eating. It doesn't matter what you eat there. So the service of having a meal available to you, we call it $11. when we put that money on it. But it doesn't matter what it is. But at the same time, if you have enjoyed my meals and you're listening, you know that I got a fish in the week, I got a beef in your week, I got a pork in your week, and a couple of chicken meals. So you got all around. So you don't eat chicken all week, or you don't eat fish all week.
Yeah.
Another aspect is the flavoring, the look. So that's my delicious aspect. That's where Rico come from. The meals have to look and have to taste good for you to do it and enjoy your diet or your routine or whatever you want to call it. And time, we want to take time for you to spend with your family, spend time in the gym, spend time at work, be productive. So meal prepping is about being productive. If you are not prepared for what you're going to eat, if an hour goes around on one of your meetings and you spend 1 hour, then you have to make a hungry or a out of time decision, and you're going to end up in McDonald's. Or you're going to end up in Starbucks in a line that takes you 2 hours.
Yeah.
So the meal is there to, in 3 minutes,
Convenient.
you eat it. Exactly. And then you got time to do what you have to do. And then you got time to spend, I will say it, you got time to spend with your family, or if you want to go to the gym, or if you want to go party, or if you want to go study, or if you want to, or it's for work, but you need that time. You're losing that time sitting or in a line on a restaurant.
Yeah.
And then healthy. I left it for the last because if it wasn't because of that, I wouldn't be here. Because I'm enjoying following Van's journey because it's a healthy lifestyle. If you follow Vance, it's not only because Vance is doing a diet. It's Vance is finding all the healthy options that are out there. If it is beverage, if it is a smoothie, if it is working out, walking. So that's what we are about. We put a little exercise routine in our website. We want to put more on there because it's about a healthy lifestyle. You want to have a good relationship with your food and a good relationship with your health.
And that's how we. I forget exactly how we got connected. I think you reached out to me.
I won't forget because it was so nice.
I can't remember.
I somehow your.
That's our
We have dogs.
our visiting dogs.
There you go. They need microphones too.
Yeah, hold on. Maybe we ought to pause a minute before we start
I'll
that
do it.
story, and let's hold on. Let them settle down.
We'll
Let's
be back.
pause a second. All right, we're back up. I think the dogs have stopped fighting. So, all right, you were just about to tell me, remind me where we met and got together.
So Facebook or Instagram, I saw your hashtags or your site or your post, and I was just impressed and interested on getting involved. And I contact you, and I think my first note was like, "Hey Vance, I do meal prep locally. I challenge you to every 2 pounds that you lose,
That's right.
I'm gonna give you a free meal." I try to explain it. If it is 4, you're gonna get 2.
Yeah,
If it is 5, you're gonna get 2.
yeah. I told you I was going to punish you.
And then exactly. And I hope you still do. I saw a couple of videos as an accountant, and I went back and I did my statistics. I'm like, yeah, he'll do around 5. The good ones are 6, and I can do with 3 meals.
Yeah,
I can do with that. He's gonna start killing me when he goes double digits, but
Yeah.
I can do with 6 and 8. so yeah, and but you invited me here that I wasn't expecting, because that's the great thing about this. When you doing all this social media work, people just go through text and then try to make the business go.
Yeah.
And you brought me here, and that's what I have make what we can call the business relationship. That a little bit of it, because I met you and you met me, and I remembered. After like 2 or 3 weeks, you start placing orders. I'm like, you don't have to.
Yeah. Well, it was good.
But that was great.
Yeah.
It did work.
It was really good.
And I kept losing weight.
But it showed the support and the appreciation, and it showed that you respect the product.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm any help that you need. That we met in your CG day that you had a workout.
Yeah,
and I tried to go there.
Camp Gladiator. One of the local Camp Gladiator groups. They get their names like Felicia.
Felicia and Monica.
Yeah, Felicia and Monica Jaramillo. I can't remember Felicia's last. Felicia Harding.
Yes.
Yeah, and they've been supporting me, and they've invited me to a couple of their workouts. But they did a special workout for the people that have been walking with us on a Sunday, and it was pretty neat. They killed us. I can't do the clap. Yeah, the Camp Gladiator is a little bit above me, I think, but
I don't think
probably 100 degrees in there.
yeah,
I don't think it is. I think you'll get there.
yeah.
And you, your wife, and your friends were all there, and I was more impressed than I could be, because I always saw maybe a little video here and there of you in the pool or you in the doing your yoga, but you were going for it. You were doing burpees.
Yeah, ugly burpees.
Ugly burpees, but you were going down.
Burpees where you go
better
down on your
burpees than
stomach.
me, that's for
and
sure.
You were
I
doing
forget the whole
burpees too.
burpee.
Mary was doing
You
burpees.
you put your hands down, kick your feet out behind you, and then,
Squat thrust.
Yeah.
kind of deal.
It's the worst feeling.
Yeah, it's.
I haven't done one again since that
No,
time.
that's my last burpee too.
So Monica and Felicia, hashtag thank you for your burpees.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but they super nice. Support them 100%. They holler at me every time they see me, and they offered me some more stuff. But
We already kind of had a
yeah,
program we were going with, but
but they're a good group outfit too. But you got hooked up with them, I think, didn't you?
I do. I like working out with the group. I'm gonna start going again this next camp with them. I just enjoy that group workout. I even enjoy being outdoor, even though it's so hot in here.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it. I enjoy the coaches, Monica and Felicia and Rob in Midlothian, and all the other ones that I have experienced, and Russell. I didn't forget you, Russell too. They're great. You have a personal trainer with the group, and some people need that. And then there's all ages. There's all athletic levels of people in the group, and it's what I tell my wife. It's just a high five group, and I love high fiving people. Yeah. So I like being around high fives. So every time that there's high five, I'm there. I'm the high five guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can try it. Try it if you're listening. There's many ways of getting yourself in shape. If suddenly you tried the gyms and that didn't work for you, and you tried the other one and it didn't work for you, there's many other options. Just look for them.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the things. When I started working out, I had just kind of a couple of rules. I wanted to put everything online to keep me accountable, and I wanted to commit to yes. When people offered things or out of my comfort zone. If someone said, I'll walk with you, I'll say, well, what day, what time? And, where before I'd say, yeah, I'll try to work it. Let's get together or something. But, if somebody offered something, then I would commit to it. And, it's gotten me in way out of my comfort zone a lot. But it's gotten me this far along in the process. I'm 162 down, and, as we went along, what I tried to do is really do something different all the time, not do the same thing over and over. Like I'd try different things, During the week, I wouldn't, used to, I would do something and lose weight, and then I'd get tired of doing that and then just kind of drift off. But in this, I'm trying to keep changing my whatever I'm doing for exercises, keep changing it up and keep pushing it and trying different things.
Well, it keeps you motivated.
Yeah.
It keeps you more motivated.
Absolutely.
And it gives you a new challenge
Mm-hmm.
and another new challenge.
Yeah.
And it gives you the opportunity to say, you know what, that one I didn't like.
Yeah.
And the ones I like, I stick with.
Exactly.
You're actually lifting weights. The dogs are back.
The dogs are back at it again. But,
They're not hurt. They just sound like they are.
But now, if somebody wanted some of your food, how would they get it?
So there's 3 ways. No, there's 2 ways. You go online. Well, you go online and you place an order. You go online, you visit our website, www.freshnrico.com, and you'll find a weekly menu, a weekly planned menu that will change every week. And that will be the set meals, and each of them have a specific day because we do 2 deliveries. We deliver on Monday and we deliver on Wednesday. So you will see the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday meals are going to be delivered on Monday, and the Thursday, Friday meals are going to be delivered on Wednesdays. So you can order that weekly plan, or you can order a la carte, that it will be your favorites or the meals that you think are your likings, and you will select them individually and place that order. You have to place the order Thursday of the week before you will receive the first order, the first meal, and that's very simple. PayPal, credit card are methods of payments, and delivery and pickup. That's where I was going to say that we have 3 different options. You can request a delivery with a very small delivery charge, what I call it. If you're locally here in Waxahachie or Midlothian, it will be $5 for both deliveries. And
So $2.50 per.
yeah, for $2.50 for the meals to get to your house. Early in the morning on Mondays, or early in the morning on Wednesday, or to your office. Many offices. We do many office deliveries because it's a convenience. Or we have pickup locations where you can come to the Waxahachie Golf Club, the country club, or you can go to iRock Nutrition in Waxahachie, or also Smoothie Plus in Midlothian, right next to the Main Street Gym, and we will drop the meals there, and then you'll come at your lecture, your time, your favorite, and then you go pick up your meals there. We also gonna give a new option that you can pick it up here at Ben's house.
The dogs will be okay.
Yeah.
The dogs will be here, okay?
Yeah.
Now just drop it here, and then you come at Ben's house. You can meet Ben and take a picture with him.
Yeah. Yeah. Every time Eugenio drops it off, I open the door with the video running or a camera, take pictures of him or something.
Yeah.
But I've seen people, I've had questions on social media. Do you ship?
We're not doing shipment yet. No. We want to dominate the local business first. Before getting to that challenge of the shipping process. It may be easier, it may not, but so far we know we can capture more business locally without getting into that the UPS and the local mail.
Hold on, let's pause again. Our dogs are going at it again. All right, we're back on.
Check 1 2.
Hopefully, we're got the dogs separated for the moment.
Check.
Yeah, I forget what we were talking about.
How do you can get the order?
Yes.
So-
you're not doing
we don't
shipping at
ship.
this time.
No shipping.
No shipping, no.
And yeah, my next question was going to be, what's the vision for the company? And I mean, where do you see it going?
We see ourselves shipping through the state, and we see ourselves offering a full menu meal. When I say with that is that we're gonna make breakfast, snacks, lunch, and dinners to give you that flexibility of breaking down your orders or actually getting a full service of the meals. And then if it comes to shipping, longer vision will be getting a better packaging so we can mail it out the state as well.
So this is you're going to really try to make this thing go big, I guess it sounds like.
Yeah, as it deserves to be big. It is a trend, and that is very common out there, especially in the Metroplex area. And I think we can compete with the big companies that are already doing it.
Why meal prepping?
Okay, if you're out there and you work, you have kids, you want to work out, you want to lose weight, you want to gain weight, you want to go out and still do all this stuff, you need to schedule yourself. You have to have a routine. Meal prepping is not easy. If you go out there and your best friend tells you, well, I've started meal prepping, and you're like, what's that? Well, I waste my whole day of Sunday buying stuff. I waste my whole day on Sunday night trying to cook everything for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's hard. It's not that easy. And you spend too much money on it, and you spend too much time on it, and then you spend too much space on your fridge for it. But when it is done right, you save money and you keep yourself on a healthy life if you look for that, or you keep yourself on a steady diet, on a lifestyle. So if you go now, just to give an example, a regular person on a day can get out of their house, stop by Starbucks, spend $8 on a breakfast and a coffee, so that may be $10. Get to work, sit at their desk, wait for the clock to get to lunch. They didn't bring lunch to work, so they're gonna have to go out to work for lunch. So they spend the whole hour in the process of ordering and getting their order. Let's say a McAllister, a Chipotle, and they spend around $11 to $13. Then at night, if you don't have nothing at home, you have to go out too. And then you gotta go buy something, or just sit in a restaurant that sometimes it takes you 2 hours to get service and eat and get out. And it forces you to have a beverage, and it forces you sometimes to have a dessert. Sometimes it's from $13 to $14. That is kind of like a $22 or $24 to $35 day on just on food.
Mm-hmm.
And the time is like 3 to 4 hours on just sitting to eat. What meal prepping gives you, what we gives you, is a steady budget. Each meal is $11. You can even get some discounts that we have online that are very good. Where it's a steady $22 a day we're not doing breakfast yet. And you have your meal ready. So it takes 4 minutes of your life for the food to get cooked. You can eat it, and then you can do something productive with your life. You can even sit and look outside. But before, you had 4 hours that you couldn't take out, and you couldn't do what you really needed, or you couldn't put on your paper that you have to bring to school that day, or that you have to bring to work, and then you have to do it overnight at your house, and you miss your kids' volleyball game or your kids' basketball game. So people say like, well, but you're charging me $11, and I'm like, for each meal. And when I go to church, McDonald's, I don't pay that for a meal. Well, you're paying that because you're eating crap, and you're gonna pay for it later.
That's what DDP told me one time. He said, how much did a Papa John's pizza cost in the 90s? It was $7.99. And then how much does it cost today? $6.99. So he said, how in the hell do they do that? What are they putting in that thing?
And about $699 in medical bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, meal prepping also get you out of that line, because there's what is called hungry decisions. Is that time when suddenly waking up or dealing with the dog outside or something came up that day, and then you couldn't go back to that routine that you're normally spending time in, and then you missed breakfast. So now the whole day you're hungry. Yeah. But then you have the time now, and that's when you order a pizza at work between you and another guy because you have a presentation. So meal prepping is a complement. It's a way of life if you want to, but it's a complement, and I think that's how Vance is using it, how you're using it.
Absolutely.
Because you already have your routine diet, and it's been successful, as we can see. But sometimes at work, you have a case, you have something that comes up, and having those meals that you know already that are not cheating. Actually, they're good for you, and they help you keep yourself in line.
What calories do you shoot for? What each meal has? Tell them a little bit about the nutritional value of your meals.
What I do is we lower on carbs, so it is a low base carb program. I don't want to use the word diet program. We try to avoid the carbs. We try to avoid those heavy carbs like the pastas, the rices. And if we have rice, because we do have rice, we have small amounts of them, small portions of it. If we have pasta, because we do have pasta, we have small portions. If we have dishes that it will be great with the pasta, we introduce their spaghetti squash, and we substitute that pasta. We have dishes that would be great with mashed potato. We put a pumpkin mash, a squash mashed potato mash. So we take those heavy carbs. And most of the diets are telling you that they're the devil. Even though they give you energy, they are, because when they're the devil is because we used too much of them. You go to a restaurant, they serve you a big side of rice, big side of mashed potato. They don't make the beef bigger. They don't make the chicken bigger. They don't make the salmon bigger, but they make that mashed potato big. So we don't do that in our containers. And that by itself will help you go in a good line of if it is losing weight, or if it is improving your cholesterol, or if it is improving your blood levels, because you're not abusing the carbs. We add a lot of vegetables. Just like you guys said before, when you had our meals, you feel that you're full already, and you're only having 300 to 400 calories meals, and you don't even know how, because we fill you up with vegetables, like if you were a kid, but we flavored them. They're vegetables that sometimes you don't experience before, like turnips or.
Is that what those pink things?
Radishes.
Those are radishes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that there's like spinach on the bottom.
Yeah.
There is
Bed
some
of
spinach in the bottle that when you heat it and the juice goes there, the spinach even tastes great, and you end up eating that spinach. So yes, that's kind of the trick. So whoever is listening to this, don't copy it.
Yeah.
I challenge you to it.
Yeah.
The spinach is good. How about that?
We add salsa, we add fruits to the meals.
What style would you call your meals? Is there a particular style, or does it have a Puerto Rican? It's two questions. Does it have a Puerto Rican type flavor, or is there a Puerto Rican food?
It is not Puerto Rican food as it is, but it does have Puerto Rican influence to it, and it has Caribbean influence, and it has some even Italian influence, because I just blend in different things that I have experienced. So it's more a mashup of different cuisines, and again with the idea of not making it unhealthy.
Yeah, I know sometimes you have grilled. Is it plantains or bananas or?
Yeah, those are
good.
favorites.
I love those.
Are they plantains?
They're plantains.
So they're not bananas.
They're not bananas. It's out there now
good.
for everybody that have had them in your dish. They're not bananas.
They're plantains.
They're plantains.
What's the difference?
They're different vegetables.
Ah.
It's like, what is the difference between tomatoes? They're all different.
Yeah.
The plantain is a thicker texture. But it's a sweet. Well, they're both sweet. The banana is sweet, but it's a different sweetness on it, and it's very starchy. Yeah. So typically, you will see it fried in a Puerto Rican dish or a Latino dish. So we don't fry it. We bake it. Cooking style is a great influence on what we're doing with these meals, because we don't use a fryer. We use oil because we think oil is healthy, but we just limit the amount of oil that we use, and we use the good oils. But we don't fry. We don't deep fry.
What if someone has some dietary needs or restrictions?
Contact me. There's always ways, and there's sometimes challenges, and there's sometimes we cannot do it. But contact me. If you don't ask me, I'm the chef, and I'm in charge of what we touch in the kitchen. Contact me, and we'll try to work with you. We have worked with gluten-free people. We have worked with allergies, seafood allergies, or almond allergies. But you have to contact me, and we have to discuss it, and we have to see how we can get it together, that it works for the person and it works for us too. Because we, like, allergies is a hard one, because we, as I saw today a comment, we mix use equipment. So we share equipment for different uses. So if we don't know that you have that allergy, it's hard.
Yeah.
Not only saying like, well, take out the almond out of it. No, we have to know that we didn't touch almond when that dish was being prepared. Mm-hmm. And so...
Or use any of the machines that didn't.
Exactly. So it drags time sometimes when we have to attend on those requests. But we do it. We do it as much as... That's what I tell you. Contact me. Because we can work on it. I have work on doubling the protein.
Yeah.
For high level athletes.
And that's one of the places that's on your shirt there. You said people can pick up meals in Waxahachie is IROC Nutrition. Tell them, is it
IROC? Jacob, and Josh are the reason we are here in Waxahachie. Jake met us through the deer business, and by coincidence, he said that he used to meal prep and he works. He have a nutrition place, and we didn't know nothing about it. And he brought us here. He said, like, we need something like you guys. And Wasahashi and he offered a lot of resources and a lot of customers, and then he helped us on the distribution of that product. And he was the first one that was asking me for special requests, because if you know Jake, he's a big guy. He's a strongman competitor. So he does that competitions that they carry big, heavy weights and pull trucks and lift 100 girls in bikini. No, I just made that one up.
We're not in St. Kitts.
Yeah.
Back in St. Kitts.
Yeah, he had a flashback for a moment.
That hellhole. St. Kitts.
Yeah, St. Kitts.
But yeah, so
So you do something for him that's more high
we
protein.
have done, yes, that we have doubled the proteins and double the carbs. He actually was asking me for the opposite, just double on carbs. So we add pasta to his meals, and we add rice to his meals, and it worked because the guy needed to put calories on, and there's many of that. There's weightlifters.
Yeah.
So as long as we can, and as long as there's common benefits, we'll work with you.
How do you come to your stickers on the side that show the like the grams of protein and the calories and the grams of carbs and all that? How do you calculate on that stuff that cook food?
We use that app, FitPal, that we break down the meal. Since the meal are portion control, we break down the meal and put the very conservative. Since we also use we may substitute vegetables depending on the market, so we don't go lower on the numbers. We're actually very conservative. So some of you there, sometimes you're getting even less calories. So because we try to be as healthy as we can, even while we're in the process.
Sounds good.
So FitPal is that app. We enter all the numbers, all the macro, and it just gives us the results of it.
All right. Does any of my crack interviewers have anything y'all want to question him about before we quit?
No.
Anything, Eugenio, that you want to give a shout out to anybody or tell anybody anything before we shut this thing down?
Well, I want to make sure that www.freshandrico.com.
That's www for those that don't understand the Puerto Rican accent, www. I'm sure my Texas accent is a hell of a lot clearer than his Puerto Rican accent.
I think that's how I got here. Ben said I need to get some Carlitos Way accent on my pods. If I get that, I'll get some listeners.
That's right.
And that's how you got me.
www.fresh.rico.com.
Yeah, we'll do this podcast in Spanish afterwards. We're gonna get Vance to speak some Spanish.
That's right.
You too, mate.
Yeah.
No poquito.
No. Me.
Muy poquito.
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero.
Well,
I have a question about your wife.
Yes.
Doesn't she do equine chiropractic?
She do yes, equine chiropractic and acupuncture, and she do equine medicine itself too. Yeah, she's right now. She's a mobile vet. It's another way of you have to take time for your family.
Yeah.
and we enjoy the time that we spend together. By being a mobile vet on her own, she have managed to spend more time with the kid. Right now, she's enjoying the kid by herself.
How old's your kid?
He's 2.5, and he's just joyful to be around.
Yeah, that's a good age.
Fun age.
Yeah, he's fun, and he's not fun sometimes, but it's good. So she do house calls
Right?
On all kinds of animals?
on
or
all
just-
kind of animals.
That's cool.
This-
Well, put out her information. There may be somebody around here that
Yep.
may.
trophystockvet.com. You can visit her website or her Instagram. If you go to my Instagram, you can find her link as well. She comes to your house and do all the services necessary for small and large animals, basically dogs and cats, from chiropractic work to vaccines. If your dog is not vet like you don't like going to the vet, it's convenient to have somebody come to your house, so you can contact us. And as well as equine chiropractor is very famous for horses that do
You're kind of showing. And,
showing, exactly, and barrel racings.
Mhm.
So that's her passion. She loved relating to that to the horse, and chiropractic is very common in that industry. So yeah, she's working on that here and locally. She have already a couple of clients that she's doing in Wasahashi, Midlothian, and she drives around.
That's awesome.
How far do you deliver for your meal prep?
That's a good question. Ellis, Ovila, Wasahashi, Midlothian. So far, we were doing Corsicana, and it wasn't being productive. It wasn't being cost benefit on the process. But in the future, we are planning to go there too, and to maybe go to Mansfield as well. Yeah, spending south and north. But right now, we get Ellis, we get Wasahashi, we get Ovila, and we get Midlothian. If you are in around those areas, you can still order and come pick up in Wasahashi if Wasahashi is on your way to work, or on your way back from work, or if Midlothian is on your way to work or back. Remember, it's just 2 days that you need to pick up, so it's not like you have to travel 5 days to get your meals.
And there's 3 places you can pick up at.
There's 3 places, yes. There's the country club, the Wasahashi Country Club. There's iRock Nutrition, and there is Midlothian Smoothie Plus that is right next to the Main Street Gym in Main Street in Midlothian.
And they also have some of your meals just for sale if someone just wants to go in there and try it.
We're not doing that yet. That takes a different state permit.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
So this is just strictly for the people that ordered online, strictly a pickup place.
exactly.
Okay.
Yes. In a little note, Smoothie Plus in Midlothian, we're working on upgrading and improving their menu now. So eventually, I'm gonna give the announcements on my social media. We're gonna have pretty cool meals and pretty cool lunch and dinner options and breakfast. Healthy
It's Smoothie
Conscience.
Plus.
in Smoothie Plus. Yeah, it's
Wow,
coming.
That sounds cool.
It's coming. That was what I was been working, and it's a pretty cool place if you haven't visited.
I had never been there.
No,
Right next to the main street, they have a long list of smoothies, and we're about to just take the kitchen to the next level.
In the kitchen in the country club, you leased out that commercial kitchen for your business, right?
Yes.
And that's where one of the pickup places is in Waxahachie.
So that's my shout out when you ask me. Shout out to the country club here in Waxahachie. Appreciate the support. Thank you to them. And then if it wasn't for the Waxahachie Country Club, we probably wouldn't be where we are right now. Because it's perfect for what we're doing. We're just renting the kitchen. We take care of it. And then we get out. We don't have to spend too much time.
All right, man. Hey, Eugenio, now, am I saying your name correctly? I know we took about 3 minutes the first time you met me to get me to try to say it right.
I think you're saying it pretty good.
Eugenio?
Eugenio, yes.
But in Texas,
In Texas, they call me Rico.
Rico?
They call me Ñenio. They call me Ignacio. They have called me.
Ignacio.
They call me
Eugenio.
I got many names
Well,
in
it looks
Texas.
like Eugenio.
Yeah, Eugenio, but yeah, they don't. It's not as many syllables as the way you pronounce Eugenio.
Eugenio. It's too. Yeah, it's the EU part is hard to get because I know the Genio. The EU part.
Eugenio.
So it's Eugene or in Spanish. But if I was going to be Eugene, I would have been named Eugene. So for all those Eugenes out there,
we can call them Eugenio now.
That's your name. But I'm not Eugene.
Oh, man, thank you for coming. Thank you for participating. You're going to be our third podcast. We really appreciate you coming and doing this on a Saturday. I know you cook on Saturday, so taking the time to come over here and do this, and we really appreciate it, man.
I think I'm responsible for the dogs being playing and fighting in the room because my smell of food in my shoes. But I appreciate your time, Vance. I appreciate your time with your crack
team
here.
Yeah.
They are also customers and they enjoy the meals themselves. And I'll be coming back and maybe we get new guests. Maybe I'll bring you guests. I bring you people that you can interview so I don't do all the talking.
Yeah, no, bring people. Anybody that's, we're looking for people that are inspirational, that are, extra usual. I'm making up that word, but extraordinary.
I love making up words.
Yeah,
so
I made that.
worry.
Yeah, I made that word up. Extra usual, and people that just that we could learn from, and set an example in our lives and see how. Learn something good from him.
Are we going to get DDP on the phone call one day?
Well, I'm hoping to get him here live one day, but, that man, he's got so
busy.
many irons in the fire, you wouldn't believe it. He's always...
I was watching the Shark Tank episode of him.
Oh,
My
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't sponsor him. They wouldn't do it.
Oh, he's set up. He didn't need them.
Yeah.
Now they're wishing they had.
Yeah,
I did watch wrestling on my young times, and DDP was one of those.
Yeah, you remember DDP?
As a confession in the podcast, I did watch wrestling. I did watch, yes.
You
And
gone?
DDP.
You gone?
I watch wrestling.
Oh, watch wrestling.
Yeah.
That's how I watched
DDP.
it when it was Von Erichs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Way. That was before DDP time.
I think
Really?
DDP was there too.
The dog
That's
wagging
a
his
tail.
The tail hitting the
That's a
spring.
dog tail hitting a spring. That should be a game. Can you guess this noise?
Yeah,
Right?
that's right. All right, we better shut it down. The dogs are fixing to get worked back up again. All right, Chef, thanks for coming by, man.
Enjoyed it.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
All right, see y'all next time. I really want to thank Eugenio Torres for coming over and doing the podcast. And, you really need to try his food if you hadn't had the opportunity. The food is outstanding. And, it's going to help you if you're trying to lose weight. It's going to help you if you're trying to eat right. And he can meet any dietary guidelines that you might have or might request of him. So please check him out. Give him some business. And the next episode, we're going to have my cousin Kevin's brother, Gary. And this is a guy who has been all over the world inspecting parts for airline companies. He's had a lifelong fetish with sailboats, and currently he doesn't own a house or anything. He just lives on a boat, and now he's sailing it down from down the west coast. It's down in Mexico, and eventually he's going to sail it on around through the Panama Canal and come up through the Gulf Coast and maybe come back to Texas. We're not too sure, but you need to listen to Gary's podcast next, podcast number 4. It's pretty interesting. Some of his life experiences in Korea, Germany, somewhere he was in the Middle East. He was up in Washington during Mount St. Helen. He's been all over, working for Vault Aircraft and then working as a contractor for inspector of parts for airlines. And so he's had an extra usual life. So look forward to that next episode. I should have it out in the next few days. And we thank you for listening to this one with Eugenio Torres. Thank you.